Alright, everyone, and welcome to Hearts of Iron Old World Blues, because I really like this mod. I like this mod a lot more than I really should. Actually, that's not true at all. If you don't like this mod, there might be a few things loose in the head. Just saying, I'm not trying to be a dick, but you might just be a little nuts. So I know we were supposed to do Union campaign for Ultimate General Civil War today, but I wanted to go ahead and do this because I figured doing a couple different things. Like, I'm really enjoying playing this right now. Like, the update to this mod, um, with the newest update that they've done, it's brought it to a point where it's not just amazing, but it's also incredibly uh what's the word I'm looking for? It's incredibly fulfilling to play this mod in general. It's just so well done. Like, its previous iterations were really good, but now it just feels like it's actually living up to the hype of Fallout itself. So it's pretty good. So, for this campaign, this is actually going to be a bit of a special campaign for me because it includes one of my most favorite factions. This little guy down here. No, not this big guy. This little guy right here. Welcome to the Lost Hills, also referred to as the Brotherhood of Steel Lost Hills. This is the home base for what is to be a very large network of groups that make up the Brotherhood of Steel. For example, you got the Northwest Brotherhood up here, you've got the Texas Brotherhood down here, you've got Maxon's Expedition, which where are they again? They're somewhere over here. I forget where. I don't see them. Where are they? My eyes are playing tricks on me. Oh, here they are. Okay, yeah, Maxon's expedition, and then of course, you have the Mojave chapter over here in their little area of the woods, so on and so forth. So, a very large network, and you can expand this network to include splinter groups that have been very, very quiet. For example, the Guardians here being a cultish splinter group of the Brotherhood of Steel, or even the She with the San Francisco chapter, and a few others that are definitely present within the lore, but they aren't like big entities. Like, they're just smaller, outsized groups. And in the future, when the mod does eventually get to the East Coast, which it is slowly spreading towards the East Coast, like, for example, I forget which update brought in the Texas area, but this is all, like, relatively new. Of course, they redid the New California Republic a little bit, Caesar's Legion a little bit when they did that update. And we also have the push up into this region here, which this is going up towards Canada, of course, and then of course we have Canada itself starting to get flushed out very well. Which some of the groups up here are absolutely cool as hell. Like, for example, the Kingdom of Manitoba. It's an insane little thing that they got here. So it's definitely coming along quite well, in my opinion. Now, the Lost Hills bunker. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go ahead and pause and read these real quick, just so you can kind of go ahead and get an idea of this if you don't have the game, or if you have the game, download the mod, Old World Blues. It's a very, very well put together mod. There are multiple sub mods that do special little things. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and let you guys pause and check these out real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and get in here. Now, why did I choose Lost Hills for this initial playthrough? Most people would probably pick New California Republic, Caesar's Legion, etc., etc. But the Lost Hills has a very unique mechanic that I've only played enough to really learn this particular mechanic enough to understand it well enough to be able to talk about it. And it is absolutely insane what these guys have managed to do with this mod. Um, this really does show that that this game, as you know, oh my god, my dog is over here. Hun, are you okay? The dog is freaking out right now because I just got home, and so she's like super excited, and so she has like this anxiety cough that she gets whenever she's super excited. Jack Russell Terriers, or Jack Russell terrorists as we like to call them. I love Jack Russells, by the way. So, all right, so let's real quick. Of course, the focus tree starts looking like this immediately, and then it's like, oh, okay. Wait, why is that bar going? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Very big focus tree. And one of the most unique elements, as you can see in this center area here, right through here, this is, I think, one of the most unique things. So first and foremost, we can see a few like very important things here. So, of course, we have the Mojave chapter, we have the Maxon expedition, we have the Montana chapter, we have the Washington Brotherhood, or Northwest chapter, as it's supposed to be called. Taggarty's Thunder, which is the Appalachian expedition. We have the Texas expedition, the Midwest expedition, the Gulf expedition. Midwest happens to deal with Chicago, by the way, which anybody who knows anything about Chicago, you know the big bad that's in Chicago. And then we have Lions expedition, which is the Capital Wasteland. So overall, we have a very, very nice little thing here where the Lost Hills section of the Brotherhood of Steel, the core of the Brotherhood of Steel, really, is actually interconnected with all the other chapters and expeditions of the Brotherhood of Steel. And you can do different things with them. One of the really cool parts about it is that and one of the key components of the strategy of Lost Hills is that you're able to interconnect with all these, sending volunteers, helping them with their operations to make them successful. And then as you grow and build and get through the focus tree, and you're able to do everything, you're able to integrate all these different groups. So it's really cool being able to see the ability for you to influence the world as a whole while being this small, what in the paradox world we'd call this a one province minor. You can do all of these things while being a OPM. So it's just really cool, like just a really well thought out system. And then, of course, we have the different things that you can do across the board. It's just like there's so much going on with this focus tree. It's just amazing. Now, what state do we find the Brotherhood in? Well, this is, okay, so let's start from the beginning. The Brotherhood of Steel was an organization founded by Roger Maxon. Roger Maxon being an individual who managed to survive the end of the world, the Great War, by being located in Mariposa. And I don't remember where Mariposa military base is located in this. I don't remember where it is on the map off the top of my head, but it's somewhere in this region right here. I know that. Somewhere over here. But Mariposa is actually one of the key locations for the, I believe it's the first Fallout game. Yes, I believe it's the first Fallout game off the top of my head. Because second Fallout game is the oil rig, which is over here somewhere. Well, it's more like over here, technically speaking, but you get what I mean. Yeah, because first one's Mariposa, second one's oil rig, third one's Capital Wasteland. Yeah. So what you end up having with this is the Brotherhood originally finds out about the development of FEV, or Forced Evolutionary Virus, which was a bioweapon that the United States government was developing to strike at the Chinese with before the the big shake and bake, as we'll call it. And well, Maxon had a problem with that because, well, obviously, it's a bit of a problem when all of a sudden all of a sudden you're talking about, gassing billions of people, and kind of a big deal, to be honest. But what ends up happening is Maxon takes control of Mariposa, executes all of the scientists involved with the project. I believe it was that West Tech? Yeah, that was West Tech. So West Tech, a bunch of their people get fucking schwacked by Maxon and his boys, and then after the bombs fall, Mariposa survives the nuclear holocaust, proceeds to then seal the base, and then travel south to where we are now, the Lost Hills bunker. And that's where we end up being now. Fast forward a little bit, and you have the birth of this motherfucker right here. Like, this big ass motherfucker. So, initially growing out of the Shady Sands settlement. Shady Sands, for anybody who doesn't know, I believe it was Vault 15, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. The resident, or some of the residents, I should say. Because, for example, where are they? These guys. These guys, the Khans, are actually cousins of the settlers of Shady Sands. They both groups come from from Vault 15. The Khans just, went Raider. Shady Sands went, Democratic, hellscape, basically. I don't know which one's better. But what you end up having is that Shady Sands eventually grows into a major trading hub, basically a center of civilization in the wasteland, and other places start to build up as well. So we have Shady Sands, the 5 founding states and cities, or settlements, I should say, of the New California Republic, being Shady Sands, Dayglow, Angel's Boneyard, or Boneyard, the Hub, and then Maxon. So Maxon here is named very poetically after our founder, Roger Maxon. And originally in the OG version of the mod, things were kind of moved around a little bit, but we actually had control over more territory than just the Lost Hills bunker itself. We had the Lost Hill bunker, but we also had control of Maxon and some other parts. It wasn't very lore accurate, to be completely honest and frank. It just didn't make much sense. It is what it is. But fast forward to the newest update, we just only have control of the Lost Hill bunker. Now, the NCR and the Brotherhood would fight a war, referred to as the Brotherhood NCR war, in which we would lose the other bunker installations throughout the NCR territories that we did have. So, like, for example, we had a bunker up here by Reading, we had a bunker over here by where Navarro is, we had a bunker down by Sac City, we had a couple bunkers down in this area, we had a couple bunkers down over here. So the Brotherhood has lost a lot of territory in this situation. So we are, we're literally pushed to our, this is our last stand, basically, against the NCR. Now, for this campaign, I will be playing as a vengeful Brotherhood. I will not be allying with the NCR, because it's like, no, go fuck yourself. You attacked us. We didn't attack you, you attacked us, because you're stupid and you decided that we were somehow the biggest threat in the world, even though we literally were just existing. Now, just to kind of give some context for that, basically the situation has to do with this little thing over here, the Mojave. If you've played Fallout New Vegas, you know a lot about the Mojave overall, but there's a little more to it than just this. See, the problem is that the Brotherhood, now the Mojave chapter actually being set up as an expedition studying the dam, the Mojave Dam, or the Hoover Dam here, originally set up to study this and bring it back online and whatnot. Then Elijah, being the idiot that he is like, oh, Helios 1. Anybody who's played Fallout New Vegas, you know why Helios 1 is important. Big doom lasers. It's fun. I will admit, it's very fun. Especially nuking an entire Legionnaire camp with doom lasers from space is actually quite amusing. But the thing is that this action by Elijah actually gives the time for NCR to take control of the dam, whereas the Brotherhood could have had full control of the dam prior. So this is a big sticking point, the Mojave, for the Brotherhood, lore-wise, because of the fact that it's like, oh, this right here is a big objective of ours. So our goal for this is not only to defeat the NCR, cut them down to size, but also take control of the Mojave territories, the dam itself, and also push back the Legion a little bit. Now, we don't need to take them out completely, but we want to push them back and create a buffer state, basically. Now, there are several nations that we can push out of here. So, like, if we see here, right through here, this is all Twisted Hairs territory through here. So we could create a buffer state just right here with the Twisted Hairs. And then down here, oh, I didn't realize the Twisted Hairs also controlled this state. And then down here, we can push out the Phoenix Republic. And then here we could, Halupai? Yeah. Halupai? Yeah, Hulupai. I'll just call them Hulupai. We could also push them out. But the point being is that we could push out these different client states as a way to secure this, and hell, we could take Flagstaff for ourselves and just have that as like a core territory just for shits and gigs. We'll establish it as a Brotherhood outpost out in the east. Out in Arizona. But the point is that our goal is to secure the Mojave, secure the dam, set ourselves up for long-term success by, getting that. In terms of taking NCR territory, potentially just puppeting the NCR and just, taking them as a puppet might be the play to go. Or we could take some territory off of them. Like, for example, we could take this border right here, connect up with the Xi, and then if we aren't able to push the San Francisco chapter out of the Xi, we might just take out the Xi. Who knows? Hell, we could just, just push all the way up to the Navarro territories as well. We could do that. But yeah, the main focus for the Brotherhood, given it's such a critical part of the lore and the story of why the Brotherhood NCR war started, it's definitely going to be centered around the Mojave and the Hoover Dam. So we're definitely going to remain interested in that. Now, we need to get through this focus tree pretty quickly, because we do need to get down here, start unlocking some of these options and, some extra things. Like, for example, getting 500 free T60 power armors to be able to crank out some more power armor divisions would be great. But we also need to get down here, because one of the big things that we have here is that the Brotherhood NCR war was not favorable to either side. It was a purely Pyrrhic victory, technically speaking, for the NCR. Even though the Brotherhood didn't lose, technically speaking, the Brotherhood had lost enough that it was a loss. It was an L. But the NCR lost so much that, honestly speaking, it wasn't much of a dub to begin with. And it actually created conditions for the potential collapse of the NCR. The NCR is going into this situation not very well prepared. Now, you might be wondering, well, what do you mean? The year is currently 2275. This is, you know, technically speaking, the Brotherhood's NCR war is still ongoing. There's just a ceasefire under wraps right now. Most of the fighting's been done for about a year at this point in time or something like that. The majority of the fighting happened in the early, late 2060s going into the early 2070s, and then, kind of petered out because both sides are just so thoroughly drained it's unreal. And the Mojave is a problem for both sides. Just to confirm, okay, so this is Aaron Kimball. So we do have Aaron Kimball as the president of the NCR. So with the current conditions, 2277 is when the first Battle of Hoover Dam in the lore happens. And then in 2281, I believe it was 81, that's when the second Battle of Hoover Dam occurs. So we are going to be pushing to prepare quite a bit. Now, some of the other stuff that we want to talk about. So some of them, there again, as I said, there's some amazing lore here. And amazing mechanics. So if we come down here, Lost Hills diplomacy, as you can see here, there are a couple different things. The all good truce, which is, the truce between us. We have a tension system basically. And so our whole goal is to, basically don't allow the tension to increase until we are, ready for war. We got a lot of preparation to do in order to fight the NCR on equal terms. And even then, it's not going to be too equal of terms. We can submit to their authority and join the Republic, but I don't want to do that. I just don't want to, because fuck the NCR. And then we can also, when we start making contact with our other entities within the wider Brotherhood network, we can do certain things like, for example, recall personnel, which they lose manpower, we gain manpower. So it's a really easy way for us to, we help them out in a war, and then we do a recall on them. We can put them in negative manpower, right after the war, gain a bunch of manpower, so on and so forth. So we can use this strategically. Now, in the case of the Lost Hill politics, so there are two primary factions within the Brotherhood the Lost Hills chapter. And I'm just going to call it the Lost Hills chapter for right now, just to kind of keep it concise. Within the Lost Hills chapter, you have the Maxonians, and then you have the Rombanians. The Maxonians are, the traditionalists. They are, duty and purity. They are hell-bent on preventing another nuclear apocalypse, management of access to advanced technologies. The Rombanians are a little less aggressive with it. They're the reformist traditionalists. Both sides are very, very, they're neck and neck with their perceptions of things. But the advantage is that we do need the Rombanians to actually be in power for certain decisions. So we will be pushing to kind of get them into power, but we'll balance them between the Maxonians and the Rombanians. In the case of the other two ideologies that are present, the cultists and the reformers, we're just not even going to bother with them, honestly speaking, because fuck it. I don't want to deal with them. But we can go ahead and do certain things, and then we can also do quite a few different things here to solidify. Remember, it's an oligarchic council. Technically speaking, the Brotherhood is an oligarchy where you have the council of elders, and then there's a high elder that's elected among that council. So we will definitely be able to do some of this stuff, so on and so forth. Now, paladins. Now, this will kind of be explained in the focus tree as well, but paladins. These are the elite of the elite, the best equipped, the best trained, the most proven members of the Brotherhood. It's actually kind of annoying because only senior knights are actually allowed to use power armor. Regular knights in the Brotherhood are not allowed to use power armor at all. It's not a thing. I hate when people do refer to everybody that they see wearing power armor as knights, because it's like, no, that's most likely a paladin, because the paladins are the only ones that are routinely allowed to use armor, or the power armor. The senior knights who have earned the right to utilize power armor can use power armor, but regular knights, that's not what they do. The knights are the mechanics and the logisticians of the Brotherhood. They're not the frontline troops. And there's often a misunderstanding. So, like, and this mod actually reflects this pretty well. So if we come here, we can see we have initiates. The unarmored, or the regular ground troop, the foot troops of the Brotherhood are referred to as initiates. These guys aren't even knights yet. And generally speaking, once they're selected as a knight, they don't operate in frontline combat anymore, generally speaking. Now, knights can be pushed into frontline combat depending on the circumstances, but they, generally speaking, do not engage in frontline combat. They're busy maintaining their paladin or senior knight brethren's armor in order to keep them in the fight. That's their primary role. So, little lore thing that I love seeing this is the fact that they named these initiates, because these are these are the leg infantry of the Brotherhood. So I do love that. And it's often a mistake that everybody makes. Now, so the Brotherhood, or the Paladins, these guys are like just super duper units that we can call upon. As they say, Paladins are powerful if limited power armor units available to Lost Hills. They don't suffer from normal terrain malices as normal power armor divisions, and don't affect our special forces capacity. We can gain more Paladins to deploy through focus rewards. You can get a lot of these guys, by the way. You can basically fill an entire army with them. But you want to use them as your expeditionary forces. That's what you primarily want to use these guys for. They're great, they're fantastic, but use them as your expeditionary forces, because they turn the tide of battle so fucking hard, it's unreal. And you can use them to save your other chapters from destruction. Now, moving on to this. So we have the underground management system, and this is what was really cool about this faction. That is, I would love to see a dedicated Fallout game designed like this, like an actual grand strategy RTS where we get systems like this. So what we can do is actually relocate a lot of our facilities and build facilities underground. So, for example, we can construct underground laboratories, which give us a 2% research speed increase. And it's completely off map. It doesn't take a build slot within our province here, but it still gives us a bonus. We can also relocate our construction and arms facilities underground. And then with our construction facilities, we can actually condense them. And this is just cool, because then it's like, oh, I can condense these into a single facility, and it's just so good. It's just so good, because what this does is by doing the one condensed workshop, we technically lose the workshops, but the local building construction speed goes up 15%. And if you look at the hint there, You can only ever mechanically put a maximum of 15 civilian workshops to work in a single state. By doing this decision, you can get more effective building speed despite only having a single state. So, meaning we can have our 15 max construction uh, or civilian workshops. We can have our civs. I should use some Hoi 4 terminology here. We can have our 15 civs in the state, this single state, and still be able to condense them down to the point where we can actually do even faster construction speed in this state. So it's just like, oh shit, that's great. That's awesome. So yeah, there's just some great little things here. We can put power, metal, water, and circuitry facilities underground as well. And it's just so cool. It's such a cool little. And by the way, we can expand it. You know, we can we can make this number go bigger. It's just so cool. Now, another thing that's really cool is the economy system that they've implemented. So we do have the ability to spend money on things that we want. So say, for example, I need extra weapons for my guys. I can buy extra weapons on the open market. This was not implemented in the last version of the mod that I played. Or, well, it was implemented, but it was very limited back in that day. So the fact that I can actually do these little things is just so cool. So we are definitely going to be having some fun with this, just to say the least. So let's go ahead and start queuing up some of our construction stuff. Our first and foremost concern is getting a few more mills put together. Honestly speaking, I got 20. Let's go to 10. Yeah, let's go to 15 civs, 10 mills, and then at that point in time, that number of civs means that we'll be looking pretty. Let's make sure we'll keep those guys on. And then after that, we will go ahead and max out the infrastructure. We'll go ahead and set up our bunker network. We'll start simple with the bunkers, and then we'll put in some outposts as well. Basically, we just want to fortify the shit out of this thing because we cannot lose it. This is our only state, so we need to really just ramp up the fuck you and what army. And then, of course, AA, because fuck you and what Air Force. I know. Now, when it comes to our research, we're going to be focusing pretty heavily on industrial stuff for a second. We're going to knock these two researches out. We're going to knock these two researches out, and then we're going to jump down here and knock these two out as quickly as possible. And then we'll knock this one and this one at the same time. Just go like that. Just really lean into industrial stuff for a second just to get us underway. And then, of course, our refined warfare doctrine. This is the quintessential power armor doctrine of the mod. So if you're going to be running power armor, this is what you want to go. Now, in terms of what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be going down, of course, the center tree here, but then I'm going to go flexibility of command because I am going to be putting support companies on all my guys because that's just the smart way to go. And then, of course, principle here really just kind of adds even more to our ability. Now, in terms of purity does offer some great bonuses overall, but the problem is that purity does hit your ability to that compliance growth speed. It's just that's painful. Now down here, shock and awe does offer the minus 25% resistance growth speed, but that compliance speed that's painful. That's very painful. So honestly speaking, I just prefer going this way. I just find it's less punishing and it's still quite effective overall. So we are going to be going that way. All right, and then training-wise, we are going to go ahead and get a couple more things going. So we're going to go ahead and delete these guys, and we're going to delete our light special forces. We are not going to use light special forces whatsoever in this in this game. We're just going to go leg infantry and power armor for the initial bits. So honestly speaking, I don't even know if I'm going to use robots. I might use robots a little bit. Do I get focuses for it? Hold on. Let me... Okay, so I do get some focuses around robotics. All right, so I do get some stuff centered around robotics. So robotics might actually... Yeah, cool. Now, you... Actually, this is really funny. In time, this will include benefits, but such things will have to wait until the scribes have updated the map. This is actually a little nod from... I do love this. I do love this. The fact that they literally say, like, hey, by the way, this is a future... it's in future development to include areas that aren't in the game yet. So, Capital Wasteland, Chicago, etc., etc. I just love that. Now I've talked your ear off well enough. I think it's my time to actually start playing. Let's go ahead and get one more light infantry going just for the sake of a little extra on the defense. And then template-wise. Okay, so we are producing a bunch of stuff that we do not have templates for. That's fine. I'm not at all concerned about it. Now, the first things we are going to be adding to our divisions are dynamite, scribes and knights. We get special tech as part of the Brotherhood up here. So if we come here real quick, we have the scribes and then we have the knights. They are specialty recon, so they're combination recon, maintenance, medical, and just in general really great little things. Like it's kind of awesome having them. Oh, military heritage. So this is a really good tech for any faction that gets it. So we'll be focusing on that as soon as we can as well. It's a really good tech, actually. Like, the bonuses are just absolutely insane. So real quick, let's just take a look at this. Okay, so this guy, yeah, he's definitely going to be a little bit on the better side. But do I want to promote him? Do I want to promote this guy? So, okay, hold on. Which one of these would be better to promote? Because this guy's got Bunker Kid, which, honestly speaking, yeah, we'll go ahead and promote Elder Angerhard. Yeah, I think that's Angerod. We'll promote Elder Angerod to the position of Army Group Leader. Simply because that will give us a better, like, this guy, having Bunker Kid, it's not terrible, but it's not, like, great either. Like, just in general, like, the max planning is great because max planning is awesome, but that entrenchment speed, the planning speed, the leader experience gain penalties, like, this guy is going to take forever to get to level 5. Like, absolutely fucking forever. So we also get some great little bonuses from this as well. So Will of Steel, army experience gain plus 5%, division attack on core territory plus 10%. We're going to get several bonuses like this where it's just like, no, fuck you. This is mine. And it's just fucking great. It's a very, very well, like, very well developed. Yeah, so of course So if we look here now, army experience gain, stability gain, like just in general, very, very good bonuses. And then we get a few of these bonuses, and then they all tie together into one bonus that's really good for us. Now, of course, the Lost Hills logistics bonus. This thing is just fucking amazing. This is so fucking good. Like, it's just so good. It's like, holy shit. Oh, jeez. Oh, shit. So Thrad is... Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Holy shit. We have a united New Reno. Holy shit. Oh, that's terrifying. That's fucking terrifying. Oh, this New Reno is going to be fun to deal with. This New Reno is going to be fucking hilarious to deal with. Oh my god. Where's my faction map mode? Okay, so just so you can see the factions real quick. So, you know, Western Brotherhood, of course, we're the little guy here. NCR, Caesar's Legion, the Ogden Treaty, Children of the Gate, Northern League, which hope will be helping, you know, Reaver Movement, Great Plains Federation, Rio Pact. You know, there's a couple different factions that are already, the Texan Economic Unit, like, or Union. There are a couple different little factions, Daughters of Hecate. There's several different little, miscounts, Kingdom Manitoba, Bloody Electorals. You know, there are several little factions that do exist in the beginning, but this will escalate very quickly. Oh, and on the note of the economics, so we do have the trade nodes. So right now we don't have any control of any trade nodes as of right now. Unfortunate, but we will get there. One of the key things about this is that you're able to set up the trade nodes to trade with specific nodes and get more economics out, or more cash out of those trade nodes. And as you develop the trade nodes and whatnot, you know, they become more profitable. All right, so we are currently waiting. What are we waiting for on this? I don't know what we're waiting for. Why can't I do this? I can do this. Well, fuck it. We'll do it. Just to get it done. Oh yeah, that's right. We have to get down here. That's what we're waiting for. To build a future underground. Boom. There we go. That's what we were waiting for. All right, and then learning about the paladins. So, of course, we just queued up underground expansion. This will give us another construction slot, which basically construction slots are you're preparing the ground to build something. The first thing we're going to be building when we have the slot unlocked again is going to be safety departments. This just increases the chance of getting the manpower that we invest, getting it back, because there is a % chance associated with all of these. By building safety departments, it will actually increase that chance. So we just want to build that first and foremost. All right, so paladins are warriors clad in gleaming armor, equipped with the best Brotherhood has to offer. They are the pinnacle of what it means to be a warrior, ready, capable, and determined. If only we had more of them. Paladins function a lot differently than other units. Their numbers are very limited. They cannot be trained by normal means, and their templates cannot be edited. They are deployed via specific decisions, either as units on the field, direct aid to other chapters, or for expeditionary purposes to explore pre-war ruins. Paladins are not easily replaced. Every loss hurts. Take good care of them. So the thing is that we do not want to actually deploy the paladins as military units. If we are using them as military units, that's a waste of their capabilities. There's many better things we could be using them for. So we're going to use them for those things. Now, you might be asking, why am I only training one unit? Because we don't have a lot of manpower, and we're going to be building a lot. Like, we are going to be building a fucking lot. So, scribes to know. Scribes are the historians, keepers, and knowledge and scholars. They research theoretical applications of anything underneath the sun, sometimes working together with knights to create prototype weaponry. They also keep records of our brother's exploits, every action being taken of note of and enshrined within the scrolls. Because of this, scribes often have the most direct contact to our primary goal, to preserve the past. So, of course, we get Scribe Council, which is planning speed minus 25%, max planning plus 10%, and again, that bonus right there is just like, oh dear fucking lord, you don't want to reduce your planning speed any more than you really have to. That's why I go down that's why I go down the route that I go with the doctrines. But then this adds technology, field scribes, which again, if we come over here to tech real fast and we find that field scribes, Scribe are scientists and engineers for the Brotherhood of Steel, conducting research on pre-war technologies and threats of the wasteland. While most scribes are content to work in the Brotherhood bunkers, there are certain operations that require the help of the scribes in the field, from research to weapon maintenance to emergency repairs. So these guys are, they're going to be basically acting as medics and as just in general helping with providing more bonuses overall. Like, they are a great little addition to things. Now, yes, overall, the actual hospital units tend to be better in the later stages, but well, again, I love the scribes. It's such a cool little thing. Just the fact that we can have scribes, it's just cool. Actually, real quick, I wish I could click. Well, actually, frankly speaking, so we do have the reduction in bonuses is actually a little less. Now, of course, this is providing that bonus, so are scribes really worth it? Huh. Well... that's... Where's the organization? That bonus is a little too fucking good. So actually, the chem support actually fucking wins out. Huh. Weird. You would think the scribes would be a little better. You'd think the scribes would be a little better. That's sad. I wish they were just... Well, I wonder if they're affected by upgrades from the... We'll have to look. Actually, I can look now because I have them. So, oh. So, the scribes add a lot to the combat stats. And that's not insignificant. But radioactive waste bonus from the chems. And the fact that these guys are also doing recon. Yeah, I think I honestly speaking, the fact I'm getting recon, yeah, I think, like, I think it's just worth it. I think it's just worth it. You know, the recon bonus, the fact that we're just getting that, we're also getting, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, scribes it is. Scribes it is. Okay, and we got the knights. Knights to build. Knights maintain, produce, and safeguard our equipment. They're usually not meant for frontline combat, but every knight knows how to handle a rifle. In desperate times, they are also used as scouts due to having no access to power armor. Power armor is reserved for the paladins, our best warriors. Yet, what a knight might lack in combat prowess, he or she makes more than up for in technical expertise. If something breaks, a knight can fix it with the closed eyes and only one arm. And then, of course, we get the efficiency retention. The conversion speed sucks, but the efficiency retention is huge. So, honestly speaking, pretty fucking baller. Now, then if we come over here and we look at the knights, we can see that reduced supply usage, massive, oh my god. Oh, 10% initiative? I did not realize that it gave 10% initiative. Holy shit. Oh, holy fuck, dude. So if we throw, so, you know, here's the base. We throw both of these on here. You know, they're looking pretty snazzy. Looking pretty snazzy. Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. I think that's pretty good. And then, of course, we have the room to add on demolitions, anti-tank, and fire teams. And then at that point in time, we're fucking golden. We're just so good. Like these units, when we, you know, if we just add on everything real quick, you know, this is what they're going to be looking like once they have all their equipment, all their support assets. And then if we take these guys up to, say, well, actually, I wonder, would it be better to do 20 wide just power armor? Or would it be better to do PA fire team, PA? Honestly speaking, I think just straight up power armor. Like, I think that's the best of both worlds that you're going to get. Now, what do we get land bonus-wise here? Alright, so... And then, if we just remove these, and then we go... Power armor. Alright. Honestly, that's like a huge, like honestly speaking, yeah, just creating a unit that can just hold the fucking line like that. You know, good organization, good HP, decent stats overall. AA might be something we swap for instead. So if we remove this, and we swap in AA so that we can increase the air attack. Yeah, I think that might be the play right there. All right, cool. And then with these guys, you know, of course we add in those. We go, well, hell, we can even do power armor support in these guys. But that is a significant drop in organization. Wow, that is a significant drop in organization. Sorry, I do need to figure out this. So that's a 20 width. Wow. That is, we're not getting great bonuses across the board. But breakthrough is good. The average reliability though, that's fucking atrocious. That is atrocious. But they can definitely do some fucking hurting. Now the question is, if I just go straight leg infantry, what are we looking like? Yeah, that's... Honestly speaking... just having the support companies would be better. Now, mind you, these are just base stats. These are, you know, without much, really any technology. So, you know, there would be changes. But, yeah, I think this is kind of best we can go for with these guys. Now, the question is that are enforcers the way to fucking go for your... Because here's the thing, is that enforcers actually have fucking armor. Are they worth producing instead of leg infantry? I am actually very, very interested in this. So if we go ahead and we put all of this stuff on here. Now, these guys have, like, heavy movement penalties. Oh, wow. Okay. They have some heavy... oh, wow. They have some significant penalties. Okay, so these guys are purely defensive. Like, purely fucking defensive. Like, you do not want to use these guys in an attack. You don't want to do that. Holy shit. All right. All right, well, that's the offset there. That's the offset. Like, goddamn. All right. So now we go ahead and we can now set it up to send volunteers, which then once we start getting down, we can start making contact, and that's going to be one of the main things that we want to try to get done as quickly as possible. We need to get rid of this bonus, or this penalty, this malice right here. Nightly confusion, which is going to be located down here with the new reforms, and then we can get rid of that right here by just doing this. Let's go ahead and let's do that, because if we manage to get a good little thing there, that would be fun. And then we need to start after we get rid of that malice, get rid of that massive research debuff, like minus 36%, minus 16% factory output. Like, this is just such a nasty fucking bonus for us. Or malice, I should say. We really need to fucking get that sorted. We really need to work on that. But yeah, so let's go ahead. We are going to go ahead and throw some support behind the Rombians, just for the sake of potentially being able to get a Rombian in charge, because we definitely need that. And then back to business. Now our goal is, for right now, we want to focus getting our civs and getting all this settled. We'll probably condense down the civs first before we try, because we need to condense them and then we need to rebuild civs. So we'll probably do it in packs of 5. We'll bring 5 underground, rebuild 5 while we condense the 5 that we brought underground, and we'll just kind of layer it like that, just to kind of keep ourselves ahead of the game. We also need to keep ourselves ahead on the construction slots as well. So, that is going to be a concern. Now, digging deeper, this option which expands our all right, long range communication, let's get that. And then we also just got an extra research slot, so let's go ahead and figure out what we want to do with this. Let's go ahead and focus on electronics with this one for right now. And at this point in time, I think I've talked you guys, your guys' ears off long enough. It's been an hour. So, opening moves, just getting things, settled up, getting ourselves the reforms that we need to get rid of that malice, the nightly confusion malice. We want to get rid of that as soon as possible. And then we need to also get down to here as well. So we're going to be going from here to here to here to try to get our malices rid of. And honestly, let me know, what would you like to see me do? Would you like me to see a currency reform? Would you like to see me accepting outsiders, etc., etc.? What would you like to see? I'll let you guys decide. I'm only half scared. Anyways, guys, I'll talk to you later. Love you.